Hi everybody, it's Monte Dutton. I'm the publisher of DHK Sports. Our company has started a new website in Anderson County, Electric City Sports, to go along with our Lawrence County sports site that was established slightly over a year ago. We have, now that the COVID is over and life is returning to normal, we are trying to promote growth in our company the way that we originally planned it when I founded it in 2020. I started a sports website without the benefit of sports. We no longer have that hindrance, and so I hope that you'll grow with us. Electric City Sports is now up and running in Anderson County, and in the fall we hope to have FurmanATT.com about the sports programs of Furman University. Our plan is to get that up and running by football season. And we have further plans, so stay tuned. But right now we've got to walk before we can run, and we're adjusting as a company to growth. And Caleb Gilbert joined me when he graduated from USC, and now on July 1st we're welcoming another employee, Danny Barletta, who is a recent graduate of the University of Connecticut. And we'll all work together and there'll be crossover. But eventually I hope that we'll all have our sort of area of specialization. We have a bright future, but we need your help. And part of that is just by reading what we write. We hope that we can encourage kids to start reading again, not to mention their parents, because if a kid reads the story about the game he played in last night, that beats nothing. And it makes him attuned to coverage of games that are done professionally and in a clever manner. So I'm going to talk more about DHK Sports and our two existing sites after this. Here in Lawrence County, we've had a pretty lively time this spring, and I'd like to sort of make my final remarks about the football goings on at Presbyterian College. One of the most shocking sporting developments that I've ever covered was the firing of Tommy Spangler as head coach of the Blue Hose. I just had communications with his successor, Kevin Kelly, and as I told him, and as I'll tell you now, Spangler was given an impossible job. I think that he was set up to fail, and he fooled them. He didn't fail. And the Blue Hose had a winning season, and they closed it out by winning at Drake in Des Moines, Iowa. They traveled out there and back by bus, and they came home with a victory after scoring twice on length of the field drives in the fourth quarter. Spangler and his club came back on a 16-hour bus ride, and the next day he was fired. I will never stop thinking that the firing of Coach Spangler was despicable. However, it's not Kevin Kelly's fault. He's a new coach. He's a bright coach. He's an innovative coach who happens to believe that he can play football at the college level really as no one has ever played it before. Now, whether that works out remains to be seen, but it is exciting. And I would like to see what happens. It's the same reason that people wanted to watch Evel Knievel jump over a bunch of school buses. It's the same reason that people go to stock car races. They don't want to see disaster. They want to see disaster defied. And Kevin Kelly's quite an interesting man. He was looking for a shot to prove that what he could do in high school can be done at college. Now, whether he'll be able to go for it on 4th down and 10 from his own 5-yard line, in which he is playing against a team with as much as more talent than he has, remains to be seen. But I would like to see his theories tested. He has a lot of influential friends who are as intrigued by his style as I am. And so I look forward to seeing what the Blue Hose do next year. But I will always have a vacant spot in my heart concerning the way that the most loyal coach imaginable, Tommy Spangler, got nothing for his hard work in the end. And I hope that he prospers in whatever field, in whatever place he wants to continue in. But Spangler is an old-fashioned football coach, and I'd like to see someone give him a chance to coach it again. Caleb Gilbert is now in Anderson. Today he is selling ads in Belton and Honeypath, and then he's headed to Greenwood for American Legion baseball game. We talk every day. We enjoy each other's company, and hopefully, the other day I was thinking that my company, DHK Sports, with an old hand like me, who has been a sports writer for most of his life, is now trying to use his experience, my experience, to nurture and encourage young people who have a great deal of enthusiasm and intelligence and skill how to run this. And I'm learning how to run as I go along because not many people have tried to do this. What I'm trying to do is fill the void that's been lost by the decline of newspapers. And I hate to be the one to say that, and I feel a little bit guilty about being someone who exploits it. But the fact is, local sports does not get anything like the coverage in any medium that it did a generation ago. And so, LawrenceCountySports.com and ElectricCitySports.com and FurmanATT.com and beyond, we're trying to exploit a market and fill a void and give young athletes the attention they deserve, and which athletes in previous generations were the recipient of. So while we're fairly solvent in Lawrence, we're building a base in Anderson, and soon we'll get our site designed for Furman University. But until that time, I hope that you admire what we're trying to do and approve of the way we're doing it. And if you'd like to help us, you can do it in 3 ways. Well, I guess 3.5 ways. You can advertise with us, or you can refer us to people who would or who will. You can click on the yellow donate button on the website and give a donation to help us get on our feet. Or you can become a patron of DHK Sports, Electric City Sports, Lawrence County Sports, Furman ATT, and beyond by going to our Patreon page and pledging maybe $5 a month. I think that the only categories we have are 5, 10, and 20. If you think that we're worth that, we're not ever going to charge you to read our website, but we would appreciate it and greatly cherish your willingness to pitch in. So on our websites, the yellow button is the way that you can make a contribution, a one-time contribution, and there's an ad that says become a patron of our site, and if you click on that, it will take you to the Patreon page. And that page is not one of these where if you take a trial period, it takes great effort to stop paying for something every month. You can instantly raise, lower, or cancel your donation at any time. But anyway, I wish that you would consider that. Electric City Sports has quite an upside, and it's also very complicated. Here in Lawrence County, we have 2 public high schools and 1 private school. We have Presbyterian College, a Division I athletic program. In Anderson, there are 8 public high schools. I would be hard-pressed to name all 8 right now, but believe you me, I know them. Beginning with Hannah and Westside in Anderson proper, Belton, Honeypath, Powdersville, Palmetto, Wren, Pendleton, Crescent. And Anderson University, which is in NCAA Division II and does not play football, but has some aspirations for doing so in the future. Anderson, each one of these schools has its own fan base. Each one of these schools has people who want to read about them and match their enthusiasm for the club with the solid, outstanding, innovative coverage that we're going to give them. Not only do we have stories every day, but we run really colorful photo galleries. And once football starts, we're going to have weekly videos like this one, but they'll be on highlights of the games. So I hope you'll stick with us at both of our sites, and the third one is soon to come. And as always, I appreciate your patronage, and I appreciate your reading us, and I hope that you will join me in encouraging local sports here in Lawrence County and also in Anderson. Thank you so much for myself, for Caleb, and for Danny. And we hope our paths will cross with you soon. Thanks a heap.